As you begin to listen, there is nothing you need to do and nowhere you need to go. The day has already carried you far enough. You may imagine that you have reached a quiet threshold, a place where effort naturally softens, the way the air cools when the sun lowers and the sharp edges of the afternoon begin to fade. You are still awake, and that is perfectly fine. Wakefulness does not need to be pushed away. Instead, it can be gently guided, like a child being let indoors as evening settles outside. There is a sense of arrival here, subtle and calm, as though you have stepped out of motion and into a space that is content to remain still. Notice how your body meets the surface beneath you. Whether you are lying down or sitting comfortably, there is support already waiting for you. You do not need to hold yourself upright. The ground, the bed, the chair all understand their role. They hold and you are held. Your breath is already moving, steady and familiar. You may begin to notice it more clearly now, not by controlling it, but by observing it the way one might watch water move along a shoreline. Each inhale arrives, each exhale recedes, and between them there is a quiet pause, like a small stretch of smooth sand where nothing needs to happen. As you breathe in, imagine the air arriving gently, cool and clean, filling you from the inside in the same way evening light fills a room through open windows. As you breathe out, imagine the air leaving with ease, carrying away the weight of the day, the way tidewater carries away footprints without effort or judgment. There may still be thoughts drifting through your mind. That is natural. Thoughts often linger when the day first begins to loosen its grip. You do not need to follow them or push them away. You can allow them to pass like clouds moving slowly across a wide sky, changing shape, thinning, and eventually dissolving on their own. You might imagine that you are standing at the edge of a small bridge, one that gently arches from the busy rhythms of the day toward the quieter landscape of rest. This bridge does not require crossing in any hurry. With every slow breath, you move a little farther along this bridge. The sounds of the day grow softer behind you, not disappearing suddenly, but becoming less distinct, like conversations fading as you walk deeper into a peaceful evening. If you notice areas of tension in your body, you do not need to name them or analyze them. You may simply imagine those places loosening, the way knots in fabric relax when the cloth is laid flat. Shoulders may soften, the muscles of the face may ease, and the space behind your eyes may feel more open, more quiet. Your breath continues its gentle rhythm, in and out, arriving and leaving, like waves that know exactly where to go without instruction. Each breath offers another invitation to settle, another reminder that nothing is required of you right now. As the bridge stretches ahead, the light around you shifts. The brighter tones of the day give way to deeper, calmer colors. Soft blues, gentle grays, and warm shadows begin to appear, wrapping the world in a sense of calm that feels both familiar and comforting. You may imagine setting down something you have been carrying. Perhaps it is a bag, heavy with responsibilities, conversations, and unfinished tasks. There is a place beside the bridge where you can leave it safely. Nothing inside that bag is needed tonight. Everything can wait until morning, just as it always has. With that weight set aside, your steps feel lighter, slower, more natural. The bridge beneath you feels solid and secure, built to support this exact moment. There is no risk here, only transition, smooth and gentle. As you reach the center of the bridge, you may notice how quiet it has become. Not silent, but softly hushed, like the moment just before sleep when the world seems to hold its breath. This quiet does not demand anything from you. It simply exists, inviting you to rest within it. Your breathing now may feel slower, deeper, or perhaps simply more noticeable. Each exhale may feel slightly longer than the one before, as if your body is discovering its own preferred rhythm for rest. The far side of the bridge comes into view, not as a sudden destination, but as a gradual presence. It feels welcoming, familiar, and safe, like returning to a place you have known for a long time, even if you cannot remember the first time you arrived there. You do not need to step fully into sleep yet. For now, it is enough to stand here, balanced between day and night, effort and ease, thought and rest. The bridge has done its work simply by carrying you this far. In this space, there is permission to slow completely, to allow words to soften, to let images blur at the edges, to rest in the gentle awareness of being supported, breathing, and safe. Whatever happens next can unfold naturally, without direction. The evening knows how to deepen, your body knows how to rest, and you can remain here, floating easily, as the quiet continues to gather around you. The quiet you found earlier continues to settle, but now it takes on a shape. Ahead of you, just where the forest begins to thicken, there is a small cabin resting easily among the trees. It does not stand out or demand attention. It belongs there, as naturally as the ground beneath it and the branches above. The trees around the cabin are tall and steady. They do not crowd or press in. Instead, they form a gentle boundary, like a circle drawn for comfort rather than protection. Their presence feels calm and dependable, as though they have been standing watch for a very long time, familiar with night and untroubled by it. As you move closer, the forest floor softens beneath your steps. Pine needles, earth, and fall. A warm light glows through the cabin windows. It does not shine brightly or sharply. It glows the way embers glow after a fire has settled, steady and reassuring. This light is not meant to keep you alert. It is simply there to say that this place is awake enough to welcome you. When you reach the door, there is no hesitation. The handle feels familiar in your hand, cool and smooth, as though many evenings like this have passed before. As the door opens, the air inside meets you gently, warmer than the forest, carrying the faint scent of wood and quiet. Inside, the space feels just right. Not large, not small. The walls are made of wood that has learned how to hold warmth. They do not close you in. They define the space kindly, like arms that know when to rest and when to release. You may notice how your body responds without instruction. Shoulders lower slightly. Breath deepens without effort. The inside of your chest feels more open, as if the space itself is giving you permission to take up just as much room as you need. The sounds of the forest remain, but they are softened now. A distant rustle of leaves, the low hum of night settling in. These sounds do not intrude. They wrap around the cabin like a blanket, reminding you that you are sheltered, not separate. If your thoughts were still moving earlier, you may notice them slowing here. Not stopping, simply easing into a gentler rhythm. Like footsteps that naturally quiet when entering a familiar room. The mind adjusts to the tone of this place. There is a sense that nothing is expected of you inside this shelter. You do not need to be productive or attentive. The cabin does not ask questions. It offers presence. The forest does not demand awareness. It offers steadiness. You may imagine sitting or lying down, feeling the support beneath you respond immediately. Wood, fabric, and air all work together, holding your weight without resistance. Your body no longer needs to maintain itself. It is free to be supported. Breathing here feels different. Each inhale draws in warmth and stillness. Each exhale releases effort, as if the cabin itself is taking care of what you let go. The rhythm of your breath finds a slower pace, matching the quiet patience of the trees outside. Time inside this shelter feels unimportant. There is no schedule, no sequence to follow. The night can unfold at its own pace, and you can move with it, gently and without thought. As the light inside the cabin softens further, shadows stretch comfortably along the walls. They do not hide anything. They simply deepen the calm, signaling that the day has fully loosened its hold. You may remain here as long as you like, feeling the subtle comfort of being enclosed without being confined. The forest stands quietly beyond the walls. The cabin rests easily within it. And you rest with. From the shelter of the forest, your awareness begins to open outward once more. Not with effort but with ease. The trees thin gently, and the land slopes down toward water that lies still and open, reflecting the soft colors of the evening sky. A lake stretches before you, calm and unhurried, as though it has been waiting for this exact hour. Near the edge of the water, a small cabin rests quietly. It feels familiar in a way that does not require explanation, like a place you have returned to many times, even if only in memory. The wood of the cabin has been warmed by countless days of sunlight, and that warmth remains, lingering now as the day begins to settle. The lake itself is calm, its surface smooth with only the faintest movement. Small ripples appear and fade, touching the shore gently before disappearing again. They do not rush or collide. They arrive, soften, and return to stillness, the way pleasant thoughts do when there is no need to hold on to them. As you imagine standing near the water, the air feels different here. It carries a softness, a mild warmth mixed with the cooling breath of evening. There is a faint scent of water and earth, clean and reassuring, like the smell of stones warmed by the sun and cooled again by night. You may notice how your body responds to this place. Muscles that were holding quietly begin to loosen. The area around your chest feels warmer, as though something gentle has settled there, spreading outward at its own pace. There is no surge of feeling, only a steady sense of ease. This is a place where memories appear naturally, without being summoned. Not sharp or detailed but softened by time, like photographs slightly faded at the edges. Moments of summer drift through your awareness, not as scenes to relive, but as feelings to recognize. Long light, warm evenings, the simple comfort of being present without needing anything more. These memories do not pull you backward. They rest lightly, like reflections on the lake's surface. You can notice them without falling into them, the way you might notice clouds mirrored in water without mistaking them for the sky itself. As the sun lowers further, the light across the lake changes. Gold deepens into amber, then softens toward blue. The shift is gradual, almost unnoticeable, yet everything feels different because of it. This gentle change reminds the body that it is safe to slow, safe to release the last tension of the day. Breathing here feels natural and unforced. Each inhale seems to draw in the warmth of the fading light. Each exhale releases what is no longer needed, like heat slowly leaving the stones along the shore as night approaches. The cabin remains close by, steady and quiet, offering its presence without asking you to enter or leave. The lake continues its calm rhythm, holding reflections without effort. Together they create a sense of balance, a feeling that everything is exactly where it should be. Time feels less defined in this place. Minutes stretch gently, uncounted. The mind does not need to track what comes next. It can simply rest in the awareness of water, light, and warmth gradually giving way to evening. As the sky darkens, the lake mirrors it faithfully, reflecting deeper colors with the same calm acceptance it offered the light. You may feel a similar acceptance within yourself, a readiness to allow the day to fade without resistance. You do not need to stay focused on any single image. If your attention drifts, let it drift. If thoughts appear, let them pass. Like the ripples on the lake, everything here knows how to return to stillness on its own. The warmth of summer lingers just enough to comfort you, not enough to energize you. It settles quietly into the background, becoming a gentle foundation rather than a sensation that demands attention. You may remain by the water, feeling supported by its calm, or you may simply let the image soften and blur, as though the scene itself is beginning to rest. The lake continues to breathe slowly, the light continues to fade, and your body continues to settle naturally without instruction. The warmth of the lakeside remains with you, but now it begins to soften and cool, the way evening air changes when night draws closer. The scene around you grows quieter, and the land gently rises again, guiding you toward a forest where the light is dimmer and the sounds are fewer. A narrow road stretches ahead, smooth and unhurried, curving gently as it moves between tall trees. A soft fog drifts across it, not thick or heavy but light and patient, as though it has all the time it needs. The fog does not rush to fill space. It simply rests where it lands. As you imagine moving along this road, there is no need to see far ahead. The fog naturally limits what can be seen, and that feels surprisingly comfortable. Only the space immediately around you matters now. Everything else can remain unknown for the moment, without causing concern. The trees rise quietly on either side, their shapes softened by the mist. They feel steady and familiar, like old companions who do not require conversation. Their presence is enough. They have witnessed many nights like this one, and they remain calm, rooted, and at ease. Your breathing adjusts almost without notice. Each inhale feels cool and clean, carrying the freshness of damp leaves and night air. Each exhale feels longer, slower, as though it dissolves gently into the fog itself, leaving nothing behind that needs to be reclaimed. If thoughts appear now, they may seem less defined than before. Edges blur. Details soften. You can imagine these thoughts as faint shapes forming briefly on a window, then lifting away as the fog outside presses close. There is no need to understand them or hold on to them. They fade naturally when attention rests elsewhere. The road beneath you feels steady and reliable. It does not change suddenly or demand quick decisions. It simply continues curve after curve, guiding movement at a pace that feels safe and unhurried. There is comfort in not needing to know what lies beyond the next bend. The fog deepens slightly, wrapping the forest in a gentle hush. Sounds grow muted, softened by moisture and distance. Even the quiet has texture here, like fabric laid carefully over the world to protect it from sharp edges. You may notice how your body responds to this enclosure. Shoulders soften further. The muscles along your spine release their effort. The area behind your eyes feels heavier, more relaxed, as if the fog has settled there too, dimming unnecessary activity. Nothing in this place asks for clarity or alertness. The fog does not demand vision. The forest does not require direction. You are free to move slowly, or even to pause, knowing that everything continues safely around you. The cool air carries a sense of renewal, gentle and subtle. It does not awaken. It calms. It refreshes without stimulating, like water placed quietly on the skin after a long, warm day. As you continue along the road, the fog seems to glow faintly, reflecting the soft light of the night sky above. This glow does not reveal details. It simply reassures, reminding you that even in limited visibility, there is nothing to fear here. You may begin to feel pleasantly heavy now, grounded and steady, as though your body has found the pace it prefers. Each breath moves easily. Each moment unfolds without urgency. The forest remains close, protective and calm. The fog stays gentle, never pressing in, never pulling away. Together, they create a space where uncertainty loses its edge and becomes simply another texture of the night. You can allow yourself to remain here, moving slowly or resting quietly, letting the fog hold what you no longer need to carry. The road continues in its own time. The trees stand patiently, and your awareness drifts inward, settling more deeply with each quiet breath. The forest road softens beneath you, and the fog begins to thin, not by lifting away but by transforming. The air cools further, carrying with it a quiet change that can be felt before it is seen. Somewhere above, the night sky releases its first small flakes of snow, gentle and unhurried. At first, the snow is barely noticeable. A few flakes drift down, dissolving as they touch the ground, as though testing the air. Then more follow, each one moving at its own pace, turning slowly as it falls. There is no rush. Snow has never needed to hurry. A cabin appears nearby, familiar and steady, its outline softened by the quiet gathering of white. Light glows from within, warm and steady, offering contrast without tension. The cold outside does not feel sharp or threatening. It feels clean, calming and temporary, made gentle by the promise of warmth close at hand. As you imagine stepping inside, the change in temperature is immediate but soothing. Warm air meets you gently, wrapping around your body like a blanket that knows exactly how to rest. The walls hold this warmth easily, the way earth holds heat long after the sun has set. The sounds outside grow even quieter now. Snow absorbs what remains of the night's movement, softening every edge. The world seems to slow under its weight, encouraging the same from you. Inside, there is a steady stillness that does not ask for attention. Simply exists. Your body responds instinctively. Muscles loosen further, no longer preparing for movement. Limbs feel heavier, supported, content to rest. The rhythm of your breathing slows again, deepening without effort, as though the air itself has become thicker and more comforting. The contrast between the cold beyond the walls and the warmth within creates a sense of refuge. There is nothing to manage, nothing to monitor. The outside world continues quietly on its own while inside, rest takes priority. This balance feels deeply reassuring. Snow continues to fall layer by layer, covering what does not need to be seen tonight. Paths disappear. Details fade. The landscape simplifies itself, leaving only shapes and calm presence behind. The mind often responds in the same way, releasing complexity when it is no longer useful. You may notice how thoughts feel heavier now, slower, less inclined to move. They settle rather than spin, resting where they land before gently dissolving into the quiet. There is no effort involved in this slowing. It happens naturally, just as snow gathers without instruction. The warmth inside the cabin feels steady and constant. It does not flicker or demand attention. It simply holds, creating a space where rest feels not only allowed, but inevitable. Like animals curling into sheltered spaces for the night, the body recognizes this moment as a time to conserve energy and sink inward. Breathing here feels deep and comforting. Each inhale draws in warmth. Each exhale releases the last traces of alertness, the final reminders of the day's movement. The chest rises and falls in a slow, even rhythm, guided by nothing more than the need to rest. Outside, the snow continues its quiet work, softening the world further. Inside, you are free to mirror that stillness. The heaviness you feel is not exhaustion. It is readiness, a signal that the body has found a safe place to pause. You can allow yourself to remain here, wrapped in warmth and quiet, as the snow settles deeper into the night. Nothing more is required. The invitation to slow has already been accepted, and the rest can unfold naturally from here.